Hi everyone, my name's Steph and I'm here with a developer preview on the upcoming Game Modes update that's releasing on the 18th of July. This is the very last update before we launch Lens Island out of early access into 1.0 with co-op multiplayer later this year. So let's jump right in and talk about all the new features coming in this exciting new update. First up is Game Modes. We've overhauled the game modes in Lens Island and included 3 brand new game modes: Hardcore, Permadeath, and new custom modes. There are 4 preset game modes in Lens Island: Peaceful, Survival, which is the standard experience, Hardcore and Permadeath. Peaceful mode has been tweaked to make it cater better to peaceful mode players and provides options to change the gameplay. Survival is still the exact same Lens Island experience you know and love, but now with the ability to alter specific settings if there's just 1 or 2 features you'd like changed. Hardcore is a new mode for completionists and people wanting a bit more of a challenge. Enemies do more damage, the player starts with less health, leveling up is slower, survival mechanics are intensified, and all resource purchasing from shops is disabled, amongst other various settings changes. All of these changes create a very different environment. Lens Island becomes more punishing and survival focused, but also more rewarding and intense. Permadeath is Hardcore taken to the next level. It has all the same settings as Hardcore mode, with one very important difference. Once you die, you're forced to either delete your save file or permanently switch to a different game mode. If you want to beat the game in Hardcore or Permadeath mode and get the official achievements and glory, you can't switch any settings and you have to stick it out to the end. And that brings us to custom mode and the ability to freely change settings anytime during gameplay. If you want to tailor your experience to be more specific, you can change any of the custom game settings at any time. Whether you'd like to play standard survival mode but with backpack drops turned off, or you want to try a challenge run with enemy damage set to 500% and all item vendors disabled. You can freely tweak these settings to make them easier, default, harder, or sometimes insanely difficult if that's what you're looking for. Now let's talk about base defense. We've been receiving feedback from the community that players want the option to make nighttime in Lens Island more rewarding and that we expand the base defense mechanics. We even ran a vote on Discord with the overwhelming response in favour of this. So enemies will now spawn at night across the whole world of Lens Island. But before we go any further, you can disable this at any time in the new game settings, or simply just sleep in a bed to skip the night and be unaffected. We're also introducing new base defences to help you ward off waves of enemies. As you progress through the dungeons in Lens Island, it will progressively disturb the peace in the world, causing new enemies to attack at night and the quantity of enemies to increase. As you dive deeper into the dungeons, you'll need to protect your home on the above world from roaming enemies at night and waves of attacks during harvest moons. We're adding many new items to help fend off enemies, such as lightstone wards, which disable enemy spawning within a radius to keep a safe zone around your home. There are new spiked fences to act as a barrier around your homes and outposts, as well as new Tesla towers to zap any nearby enemies into oblivion, and a new ballista bow to keep your home secure earlier into the game. Both the Tesla tower and ballista bow require ammunition. Make sure to add lightstone dust to the Tesla tower and iron shards to the ballista bow in order for them to shoot down enemies. Oh, and landmines. You can now build explosives and mines that trigger when enemies walk over them, causing mass destruction. These new items and tools allow you to better defend your homes, farms, and resource outposts from the nighttime enemies, as well as the improved and more difficult harvest moons. But don't forget, if you're not into base defense, just hop into bed and skip it, or turn it off in the game settings. Or if it's still not hard enough for you, there are new game settings to turn up the amount of enemies that spawn during the night and the harvest moons even further. And finally, the caves. We're also improving the underground caves by adding new mushroom forest biomes and new underground strongholds to discover. These unique areas contain more challenging enemies guarding high-tier loot. We've been listening to the feedback that the caves could be improved, so we're working hard to continually make the underground more interesting, challenging, and full of rewards and mystery. This is just the first step to improve the caves. We'll be progressively adding more as we get closer to full release. So that's everything to expect in the Game Modes update releasing on the 18th of July. Will you be using the new game modes? Do you like the fact that enemies will now spawn at night? And are you looking forward to exploring the new sections of the caves? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!